Good evening, everyone, once again. And thank you for being with us for tonight's tele-rally. And my name is Sherry, and I will be our moderator for the event. And at the conclusion of President Trump's remarks, we will be asking you a special poll question, so please do stay on the line throughout the entire tele-rally. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our candidate for Governor of Georgia, Burt Jones.
Thank you, Sherry, and I appreciate the introduction. And good evening, Georgia, and all the people who have joined us here tonight. I'm grateful for all the participants on the line tonight, and I'm grateful to have President Donald J. Trump here tonight to speak on our behalf. I just want to thank all the supporters around the state for all the encouragement for us. And this early voting has already started. Friday, tomorrow, is the last day of early voting. Then Election Day is on Tuesday. We won 127 counties out of 159 in the first portion of this in the primary race, and we've got a very competitive race right now, so we would love to have everyone's support. If you want a proven business guy that has a legislative background that's ready to serve as your governor on day one, I'm your person, and President Trump has endorsed me, and he's done so much to help us. He's been a great friend for many years now. He supported me when I ran for lieutenant governor. He's supported me in this race for governor because he knows that I'm the best candidate to win this race and represent us in November. So without further ado, I want to introduce one of the finest, prettiest people I've ever known and the greatest president this country's ever had, our 45th and 47th president of the United States, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Burt, and hello to all of the great patriots, and that's what you are, in the wonderful, beautiful state of Georgia, where we had a tremendous victory just recently, and we have, throughout the years, you've been with me and I've been with you. There's a very important election going on in your state, as you know, and that's why I'm doing this. I don't do it often, but I am in this case, and I'm asking you to get out and vote for Burt Jones, a terrific person, for your next governor. Early voting concludes tomorrow, June 12th, so go out tomorrow right away. You get out there and vote, or you voted in your polls on Tuesday, June 16th. And either way, it doesn't matter, although, probably a lot of people would rather see you vote on Tuesday because, we have a lot of rigged elections going on in this country, which is why we want to pass the Save America Act. But polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m., and many Republicans did not vote in the primary, and despite the popularity of Burt, a lot of people thought that maybe they didn't have to. And Burt won by quite a margin anyway, but very important that you get out and vote for Burt. He's a person that's been with me from the very beginning. He was the first member of the Georgia Assembly to endorse me for president, and he battled very strongly, tooth and nail, frankly, for the election integrity in your state. He never backed down, and he became a fanatic and he was fantastic. He was a fanatic when it came to election fraud. He believed it, and he knows it, and we've been proven right. There's been a big group of us. Now there's a group of probably 70% of the country. But he was a fantastic lieutenant governor. Burt is my complete and total endorsement for this position of governor. Going to be a great governor. As you probably know, Burt is not only a leader of courage, he's also a Georgia football legend. He's actually a legend, and he was one of the best players on the SEC championship team. He is a winner at everything he does, and he's going to be a winner as governor, and the people are going to really love him. He's a very special man, and his father is likewise. There's been no one better than Burt to keep the radical left Democrats and these lunatics out of government and out of the governor's mansion. He'll keep transgender for everyone out of your schools, and he'll crack down on sanctuary cities that release criminals into your communities. Under the Biden administration, it was crazy. 25 million people were allowed to come into our country. There were some horrible drug dealers. Think of it. People from mental institutions, murderers. 11,888 murderers, and 50%, more than 50% killed. They murdered more than one person. One murdered 7 people. This is what we have. We've gotten them out of here, a lot of them. We're looking for the rest. Not easy. Should have never happened. Burt also really has what it takes to keep Georgia's economy growing. He was a very successful businessman, and I knew him then too, with a plan to bring jobs and factories pouring into your state. We right now have $11 trillion being invested. $18 trillion being invested and into our country, the most ever in the history of the entire world. There's never been anything like it. It's the tariffs that we charge to people that make their product outside of our country. They come in, they build, and they don't have to pay any tariffs. So it's $18 trillion, and there's never been anything close. It was 7 years ago, China at $3 trillion. As an example, the Biden administration in 4 years had much less than $1 trillion. We have $18 trillion in 11 months. There's never been anything like it. And much of that is coming in. A big chunk is coming into Georgia. That's why you see all those plants and factories and jobs happening in Georgia. But Burt will protect our veterans and police, and he'll defend our always under siege Second Amendment, and it is always under siege. I've been saving it for many years, and no one will fight harder than Burt Jones to defend election integrity, one of my big things, because our elections are corrupt. You see that in California with what's happening, where they voted and they still don't know what's going on with the elections. They took the one away from a young guy who was running, and looks like he was in first place. All of a sudden, he's out of it. And they started that with Steve Hilton, and I got on it, and all of a sudden, they said, we'll know in 2 weeks. And I got on it very hard, and all of a sudden, got on it hard enough, obviously. In fact, calling law enforcement, and all of a sudden, almost immediately, it announced that Steve Hilton won. They were going to take that away from him, too. So we got to do something with it. We got to pass the Save America Act. But once again, you can vote early tomorrow. You can go out and vote on Election Day, Tuesday, June 16th. It's a big day and an important day for Georgia, because I know that Burt is going to do such a fantastic job. And if you have any questions, you can go to swampthevoteusa.com. swampthevoteusa.com. And George, I just want to thank you for voting for me. Frankly, we had a great election. We won by a lot, and then we won the whole thing by a lot, by landslides. And it's an honor, and our country is doing really well. I don't know if you heard, but we ended the war with Iran today, and they have agreed never to have a nuclear weapon, something that we insisted on. That was the whole purpose. That was 95% of it. And they've done it in the most powerful way you can do it. So I just want to thank everybody for your support, and go out and vote for Burt. And I really appreciate it. He's an outstanding guy. And Burt, I'll give it back to you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for all your hard work on the Iran situation. I know you're glad to get that settled, and we appreciate all that you do for this country, and appreciate you getting on this call and speaking to the people, good people of Georgia. You know, Georgians, we have a big, election. Early voting ends tomorrow, and Tuesday is the vote. And if, like I said, if you want a proven leader, both in the business world as well as in the legislative world, that has cut taxes, that has cut regulations, that has been a champion for school choice, and been a champion for public safety and voter integrity. I'm the only one in the race that fits all those. I've been fighting for Republican values and the president in 2020 and 2022 and 2024, and I want to continue to fight for the Georgians because Georgia's had a great run. The last decade has been the number one state to do business. It's been a great place to grow your business, raise your family, and we'd like to see it continue. And I know I'm the best person who can win in November. And so I would be honored to have your vote. I'd be honored to have your support. If you've already voted, please get your family and friends out to vote as well. And like I said, it's a very important election, and I promise you I won't let you down. And with your vote and your support, we would greatly appreciate it. And once again, I want to thank the president for joining us today, because he knows who the best candidate for this race is, and don't want people to fall for the Hollywood production that's going on, and don't fall for all the negative ads and everything else that have been generated, because quite frankly, we're the best candidate, and we're not hiding from who we are. And I will hope y'all will go vote tomorrow and on Election Day on Tuesday. So thank y'all very much, and thank you for joining us today. Sherry?
Well, thank you so much, Burt. We appreciate that message and your time today. And thank you to President Trump for such...
Your response has been registered.